Gangland Landlord by Mozzy. For the past few years, the Sacramento, California native Mozzy has released multiple projects a year. With Gangland Landlord, Mozzy's second of the year, does he continue his reign of great music? Here's our honest review of Gangland Landlord by Mozzy.
Gangland Landlord.
Yeah, man.
From Mozzy. How you feel about this album artwork, man? And be careful because you don't know if any of these people live in Virginia. Live in Atlanta.
It's cool, man. I mean, it's your, typical posse shot and everything like that. I feel like it's interesting that he's, only one wearing red and everybody else is wearing black. So that kind of puts the focus on him without saying this is Mozzy's album. So I thought that kind of perspective idea of the album cover kind of worked. You know who this album is, but he's about his people.
Yeah, man. Anybody knows this shot. This is the photo that you take with all your homeboys in the neighborhood. Who don't got a picture like this? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we ain't throwing up gang signs in mine, but we in there and we took a group picture together. So it's a cool shot. I can see where it's coming from. I get it. And he's the landlord of Gangland. I'm assuming Gangland is what he considers the area where he grew up in. I'm assuming, or is this label? One or the other. Not 100% sure.
Okay.
Flow of this album, man. It flows pretty much like a Mozzy project.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of West Coast vibes. He's got a lot of guest appearances, and for the most part, all of them are pretty damn good. The guest appearances do their thing, and it flows. And if the album feels a little long, it feels a little long, but the album does flow, and I like the transitions from feelings, talking about like little hood tales and talking about women, and then also he's talking about wanting to make it famous for his mom and his two daughters and stuff like that. So it's like you get a nice variety of music in here.
Yeah, I actually thought it was pretty smooth. Like the flow really, you get that Mozzy feel and everything like that, but like you said, it really strayed in his own kind of lane. Like it was like just his own zone. Like I think we've listened to Mozzy enough to notice like that type of feel that we go get from his music. He is like the type of I don't consider him as like braggadocious or anything, but he just really talking like he got it because he got it. But when he gets it on his sentimental vibe and talking about his family and everything like that, I really like that side of him, and I think that carried this album a lot because I feel like it's with every Mozzy project he gets real personal, and I like that about him.
Highlights, man. Look, I love the way the album starts off. That was a dope way to start off, right?
Yeah.
Thug Mansion featuring Ty Dolla $ign and YG. Dope song.
Yeah.
I like what both of them brought to that song. I actually like YG's verse a lot. I didn't even notice that was YG.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I was editing and I saw making cuts of the video, I was like, oh, that's YG. I was like, I don't think he's on the song though. Cause like I said, I didn't look at the actual track list till today. I just kept listening to the music.
Right.
Bands on Me, I knew that was A Boogie, but I never looked to confirm it because I was just like, if it's not A Boogie, it should have been A Boogie. And I didn't actually dislike Black Youngster on that song. I was actually surprised.
Yeah.
Keep Me Hustling featuring Rex Life Raj, I really like that song.
Yeah.
I don't know who he is, but I like his verse. I like what he did on that song. Walk with a Limp Wife and Lucci was another one of those dope joints for me. Excuse Me featuring Too Short, Young T.O. in December was another one of those joints. I was just like, man, Run to the Mansion. I was just laughing when I was hearing that. I was just like, really, that's what your peoples do. And Tear Me Down, man, featuring Raven Justice.
Yeah.
I wish it was like one more minute longer. And don't get me wrong, those aren't the only dope songs on this album, but I'm just trying to, I ain't trying to steal all the dope songs. He could get some highlights in too.
Yeah, man, but other than that, what you said, Thug Mansion, I gotta include that because I just like the melody to it, not just because Ty is on it. But the melody of it is really dope. The video is really dope. Check it out if you haven't. I agree with you with Bands on Me, man. Usually I'm annoyed with Black Youngster, but it was actually pretty cool. Keep Me Hustling, I just like the way I love Mozzy on it. Mozzy killed it. But the way Rex came in at the end gave it such an impact. Like you just really felt it. What was it? Black Hearted. I really enjoyed that. Black Hearted was really dope. Like that was like one of the standout tracks to me on the album. Famous, I actually like that song. I just didn't like the hook, but I enjoyed the song a lot. And I want to say Tear Me Down was a great way to go out. really, really good way. Like I said, could have been longer, but it was dope.
Low lights, man. Look, one of mine. Look. I'm not saying these songs are bad songs that I'm about to mention. I'm just saying these songs ain't for me. This don't fit on my palette of music, what I care to listen to on a day to day. But one of mine, I was not really feeling that joint like that. My Brother 2 Times. I thought it was cool. You know, I heard Trader Truth. I'm like, I'm not a really big fan of Trader Truth. If you guys wonder why we don't get review Trader Truth like that. Famous, I thought the song was cool. Like you said, I didn't like the hook, and I didn't like how Deja Lo started her verse. Yeah. But I do like the way she ended it. Okay. But for the most part, you know, I'm not really huge on like a lot of these songs as far as listening to them over and over again.
I feel you.
Because when I was getting to them again and again when I was listening to the album, I'm just like, I don't want to really listen to this album. And that's why I said the album seemed kind of long, because T.I.'s album was actually longer than this, but it didn't feel long. And that came down to the fact that when you're actually doing something that you actually like to do, time always seems like it flies. But when you at work slaving and shit, time seems to not move, right? Yeah. So Mozzy's album was a little bit of that back and forth with me. Like at points of the album, it felt like it was speeding through, and then other points of the album, it felt like it was slowing down. So that was also part of my low light. Okay. And that's pretty much my final thoughts on the project as well. Just because he's got some dope stuff up here. Some stuff that I'll definitely listen to again, but it's got some stuff up here that, you know, like Dead Homies. Like, it's just like, it's like, it's cool. It's like, I get it, but it's just not, it's not for my palate.
Yeah, I agree. Dead Homies was immediately one of my lowlights. I just really didn't feel like it was necessary. I feel like we've heard a song like that from Mozzy before. The same with it, Who Want Problems, Choke on Me was kind of, you know, just some similar things we've heard from Mozzy. And I just feel like, you know, even though there's a lot of great songs on here, it could have been toned down a little bit just for his project. Not saying it was just too long because it's 18 tracks, but for Mozzy's formula, I think we know what to expect. So it's kind of like, okay, we're running through this again, you know, because we're used to hearing this from Mozzy. So I can kind of feel where you come from with that, because it's like, okay, yeah, we know. But that's the only really low light, because there's a lot of good things on here. Like you were saying with Mozzy's voice, even though he might not have like the dopest bars, it's the passion and everything he brings to the song and everything like that. So if you can just console that down to like a tight amount, you'll get a more impactful project, and you won't feel like you gotta listen to all this over again.
Final thoughts. I know I said I kind of gave my final thoughts already, but there's a couple other things I just wanted to add. Like, I think Mozzy's an incredible artist. I feel like he's got one of the dopest rap voices. He can do things like evoke emotion through the way he's rapping. Yeah. But at the same time, I do feel like he just needs to do something. I don't know, sit down with Kenny and get some tips on like how to put together an album. Like, figure out how you can put all of these street tales and everything together into a project where it sounds really dope. Get with some really dope producers. Like, you got some dope beats on here, but like, you gotta get it to where every beat is fire. Like, look at what The Game used to do with his albums. Like, his beat selection is ridiculous. Hell, go holler at The Game. Let him A&R the beats on your project. And I just think, and Mozzy would be out of here if he can do something like that, because I think it's time for him to go to the next level. Like, this stuff right here, we kind of already know he can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I just want to see him on that next tier. Like, I want to see him being mentioned with like YG and
most definitely,
and Top Dog Entertainment and everything like that.
Yeah, man, because I mean, really, he's pretty well connected. I mean, look at the features on his album. So it's like, you know, he has that star power. He has, you know, them connections. So,
and he could do a whole album with YFN and Ty Dolla $ign doing the hooks. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. So yeah, I mean, that's all I want to see is him push to the next level, because I feel like he has that sound. He has that layer of, like, you know, artistry. So I believe he can push it even more.
I believe he can fly too. Final grade, man. Final grade, I get his joint a check. It's a check on the lower end, just because I know he can do this. And I want to hear him go to that next level. Like I said, Mozzy's incredible. I like listening to his music. I like putting people on to his music. I fuck with Mozzy.
Yeah, I give it a check as well, man. I remember when we first started listening to Mozzy, I wasn't feeling him, but he grew on me. And it's just like, you know, more I listen to him, the more I accept the passion and just the just the feeling that he brings to his music, because it's not always, you know, the same type of, you know, gang banging this and this here we usually get from like the West Coast kind of artists, but it's more like you said, the hood tales and everything like that. And I appreciate a lot of music like that because it's a lot of feeling and emotion to go along with it.
Yeah, 100%.